Let's all together offer our prayers, humble salutations to the all-pervading Almighty and seek His grace and blessings to make this knowledge a living reality in our lives. Let's also offer our salutations to the entire Guru Parampara for having made this knowledge available to us. Om Tat Sat. Today we are on Divine Discourse 32, 12th of May 2020, a Tuesday. Sharvari Nama Samvatsar, Uttarayan, Vasanta Rutu, Vaishakh Mas, Krishna Paksh, Shashti. The 6th day towards the 15 days travel towards the new moon. Okay. Now, yesterday we said now let's look into the 9 blessings which have been bestowed upon us. A human birth is considered to be extremely rare. We know about it. But in what way is this human birth given so much importance? Why is it's so superior to all other births? What is that distinguishing point? These are the facts which we are going to study for here. Now the verse which I said yesterday was Jantunam nara janma durlabhamataha pumstvam tato viprata tasmad vaidika marga parata vidvatva smat param atmanatma vivechanam swanubhavo brahmatmana samstiti muktirno shatajanma koti sukritaihi punyair vina labhyate. See, the last words are shatajanma koti sukritaihi punyair vina labhyate. Shata, hundreds and thousands of koti, crores, janma, lives, sukritaihi, well lived, punyair vina, where when you are well lived, you get the good deeds of that action of having well lived. So with that good deeds, without which you would not have had a human birth. And now, after having had a human birth, what is it that makes us different? Let's look into that. At the outset, if you understand, we all know there are about 84 lakh species. And after having crossed the entire journey of 84 lakh species of births and deaths, that jiva gets one chance as a human birth. And this is the only platform where a jiva can get merged back with the Supreme Self. Otherwise, as I had mentioned earlier, all the yugas have to be completed, that 43 lakh 20,000 years, and then subsequently Mahayuga, then a Kalpa. Kalpa is, we can't even calculate that number. That so many lives and deaths, lives and deaths. Then only at the end, everything comes into a dissolution. Now we have heard this, as we call it, as a black hole. So it's not that it is something new for us. It's called in differently. Here we call it as dissolution. And the science is talking about a black hole. So when this is the kind of situation, then what is that which we get as a human birth? So under human birth, you can directly bypass all your past and your future just by knowing your true self. And to know a true self, the faculty of antakarana, what we call, is given. The intellect, antakarana, is given only to a human. So here, now the Lord says, okay, now let's look. Okay, you have got a human birth. We'll discuss more about it, how rare it is, and what are the various qualities. The first one is, human birth is indeed rare. This is the first blessing. Now see, our idea is we know the blessings, what all the blessings are, and we then understand at which stage are we in life. So by that we know how much we have crossed and how much more is yet to cross to reach the ultimatum. So first blessing, human birth. So we all have it. There's no doubt. We are all born as humans. We have it. Now the second one, here they talk about is Pumsatvam. First one, Narajanma, Pumsatvam. Pumsatvam literally means manhood. I'll explain in detail later on. Third step comes as Viprata. Viprata means having the sattvic qualities in life. Where, there are three broad categories. One is the sattva, rajas and tamas. A sattvic, rajasic and a tamasic. So sattvikata. Then the fourth one comes is Vaidika dharma marga parata, which means, are you on the path of righteousness as prescribed in the Vedas and the scriptures? This is the fourth quality which is as a blessing for us. The fifth blessing is Vidvatvam, which means, do you have the correct understanding and knowledge of the scriptures or the deep significances of the Vedas which have been prescribed? Sixth one, Atma Anatma Vivechanam. Means, after your studies, when we said knowledge of the deep significances, after your studies of Vedas, are you able to differentiate what is your true self and what is not your true self? See, we are already doing that exercise of Panchakosha Viveka Dhyana, where we are saying, this is not me, this is not me. We are doing that, correct? That is the sixth blessing. Seventh one is direct experience, which means Svabhava. Are you able to experience it? Whatever you have understood, first you have listened, second is you have contemplated, you have studied, and then the third one, are you in a position to experience what you have studied? Swa Anubhava. And the eighth one is Brahmatmana Samsthiti. Means, are you being able to establish an identity with that supreme consciousness which is within yourself. We have all had a direct experience of the consciousness. In the Panchakosha meditation, when I say, okay, you raise your hands and you feel that energy in your hands, that Chetana Shakti, Chaitanya Shakti, what we are talking about, didn't you feel that? That is that pure consciousness which envelops the entire universe, which is there within you. You were able to experience it only for a short while, isn't it? Now, are you being established in it? That is what they are saying. And the result of all this is, the ninth one is liberation. This is the journey. Now let's take up one by one. Let's see where we are. So as we all know, we said there are so many 84 lakh species. It starts with the unicellular amoeba, then the algae, then the plants, then the insects, then the fishes, the animals, the birds, and then so on. But one human birth is considered extremely rare because it has got the capabilities of what the other species do not have, and that is the intellect. We are endowed with that faculty of self-awareness, where we can actively think about what are our thoughts, our actions, our words, our habitual tendencies. This is the faculty of self-awareness what we have. All creatures in this world, they lead a programmed life. You must be aware of it. All the other animals, they are on an autopilot mode. They have been given basic instincts in life. That is, being hungry, they hunt for their food. Then they eat. After they eat, they need rest, they sleep. Then they, time to time, they procreate. And they have a great attachment towards their offsprings, their children. And they do all whatever is possible to protect them. And the life goes on. They do not have an ability to choose their response or program themselves. This is the difference what we are seeing over here. And then human beings alone are capable of noble and divine pursuits. An animal or a fish, a bird will not ask, who am I? They are like those toys, you say switch on, then they'll start dancing, that toy will start dancing, and then switch off, it will stop dancing. It is on those lines. But we are the ones as humans where we have the capacity to understand who am I, or ask this question also, what is the purpose to life? Is there a creator to this whole world and creation? What is the nature of the world and creation? What is my relationship with God, that supreme power? But also do not forget, after being endowed with this rare quality of the faculty of self-awareness, we also have all the five senses which are extremely strong. In our previous discourses, we have discussed each and every animal has only one sense which is strong, but Humans have all the five senses, which are extremely strong, always pulling you out to be engrossed in sensuous pleasures, with desires propping up again and again, with tendencies which drive you out, not within. So then there is the reward and the task. They go hand in hand. Higher the reward, this greater is the challenge. So now if you understand what is the difference, we can make a clear and precise points, how man or a human is similar and different to an animal. We can go beyond his instincts and we can climb the ladder of evolution. We should understand this is the greatest quality. What we have is we can pursue for the highest. Others can't even think about it. See, first of all, you should be eligible, isn't it? For whatever you want to achieve in life, there is an eligibility factor. Rest is all your effort. You have been selected. Come, study in this prestigious university, prestigious college. Not the world's best, but the universe's best. You have got an admission there. Now, how you study during those years and how you come out at the end of the term is in your hands. So the foremost thing is Nara Janma, human birth. Yes, we have won on that. And there are higher births than that of a human also, which are the Yaksha, Kinnara, Devata. How did they become higher? Because their good deeds were higher than that of a human, what we have got. Okay? And since their good deeds, merits, which we call as punya, is higher, to exhaust them, they go for a temporary phase to a place known as heaven. And they exhaust the merits, whatever merits they have. And eventually, they take another birth, which could be on as a human or even much lower than that. But only when your papa and punya are on a balance of close to 50%, then a human birth is given. So that we have enough of untoward things in life which give you that vairagya, a dispassion for you to aim for the higher. Whereas a devata or a kinnara and a yaksha, when they are immersed in joy, happiness all around their life, why will they even think of gaining the higher? Because they feel we have gained the highest. Their lives are known as bhoga kshayartham. Bhoga means enjoyment. Kshaya means fulfill. Artham is purpose. That is this. Their life is for that. So they go on into these higher planes of heaven and places like that, and they exhaust their good deeds. Rarely this combination comes as a 50-50, and there you get this chance as a human birth. It is as simple as going to heaven is like you have money, you feel okay, now I want to spend about an X amount of money. Based on that, you decide, is it a 5-day vacation, 7-day, 15-day, or a month vacation? You spend that money and you come back. In the same way, since you have punya to your account, you are exhausting that by going to the higher planes. There is no progress in heaven for spiritual life. Please understand this. Only in a human birth, Nara Janma has got that possibility to put an end to the cycle of birth and death. You get complete freedom warrior. So, let's be very clear that we have got this human birth. There is no doubt about it. So the first blessing we have thoroughly through, and it's in our favor. Now let's go to the second one. Pumsatvam. What does the shloka say? It says the second blessing is, do you have manhood? The literal meaning is pumsatvam means manhood. Manhood is not in terms of the gender. Are you a man or a woman? No. It is hood, manhood. Meaning, do you have that temperament, a masculine temperament? Have you not seen so many women who are much stronger than men? And there are so many men who are relatively weak when compared to some women. So it's not about your gender. It's purely about, do you have that temperament? Do you have that intellectual steadfastness, hardiness, determination, go-getting attitude? So this should not be misunderstood. There are so many women. Sage Yajnavalkya, he taught his own wife Maitreyi. Kapila Muni taught his mother Devahuti. Gargi challenged sage Yajnavalkya in the assembly of Janaka. Kudala, she, as a wife, she taught her own husband who was a king. So women have achieved marvelous. They've defeated Maharshis also in the past in terms of spiritual knowledge and understanding. So here it is about the temperament, the courage, the strength, how much you can move forward in life. So now I'm pretty sure that all of us who are here, we have that strength and courage. Otherwise, I tell you, it is not that easy that everybody without a single day's absence is paying so much attention and wanting to listen to the divine discourse of the Lord. Why? Because you have that steadfastness, that determination, that courage. Yes, I want to achieve. I want to know this. What is this? So, Pumsatvam is the second aspect. Now, let's move to the third aspect. Viprata. Viprata means, do we have a sattvic attitude in life? What is sattvic attitude? Prima facie compassion, love for others, kindness, helping nature. These are outwardly. Now, what are the inwardly characters? Self-restraint, discipline, austerity, purity of mind, forgiveness, uprightness, wanting to study something which is higher, that is godly, spiritual. This is about the sattvic attitude. And you look for yourself. You all have that. So here, what the Vedanta also, he also says, to be a viprata of sattvic nature is also very rare. Where do you have people with all these qualities nowadays? Everybody is there to snatch from the other. pull the other down. So we also qualify for the third round, which is the third quality, viprata. Now here, if you feel anywhere, yes, on the second point, let's say my determination is lacking a bit, improve upon it. See, there you have scored more than 80 or 90. Fine, that 10 or 20 is in your hands. That is the purpose of understanding this particular subject. Otherwise, this is not a part of Bhagavad Gita. Here what we are interested in understanding Bhagavad Gita from a practical pursuit, and see that we are able to implement all that is there in our lives, and eventually we want to be, on an immediate basis, we want peace. We are not looking at long-term results over here. Immediate, now and now only, is we need peace. And as we move ahead, we need good health, we need prosperity, and eventually we want to gain salvation, realization. What higher goal can you have in life? And talking about all this, you don't have to be a Rishi, you don't have to be a sage, you don't have to give up anything in life. Go to the Himalayas and study. At God's grace, we are sitting at home and this is being taught. When I studied about 9 years back, there are about 3,000 students who have applied all around the world, and 70 students are selected. For 1 year, interviews are conducted in 30 centers around the world and 18 states within India. And among all these, 70 are selected. And since I'm sharing with you because I want you all to relate with me, we all are on the same lines. My life is no different than yours. You are a grahastha, even I'm a grahastha, with family, friends, relatives, society, public, government. Everything we have to manage. So there, when I asked once my teacher, I want to say I'm traveling for a day or two, they said, no, there is no other way we can give you the lecture. Skype was there about 9 years back, but no. You had to be present all the days, sit in front of the teacher. We used to sit on the floor, make our notes, study. But now I tell you, a big difference has come in. Nothing was on YouTube or was on other modes of discourses on the net. No webinars. But now, this is the grace which we are all having as of now. And coming to the aspect of what we can't achieve. See, we all have grown up in life. We have our families. We are taking care of our children, managing our household, managing our profession, our job. Do you think this is all easy? Now just managing one kid is so difficult. You have to go from one class to another. From painting class, you go to singing class, then to a dancing class, and then to a judo or a karate class, and from there again a swimming class. It's not a easy thing. I have seen the sages, the sannyasis who do this on a full-time basis. The challenge is what we have compared to what they have is extremely high. Despite that, we are saying we want to learn this. Don't you think we have substantial grace marks which are going to be given to the Lord by us? We have. So what we need is We just need, yes, we can, I can and I will. Keep moving forward. If you don't understand, ask questions. Don't understand, again ask question. Don't understand, again ask question. At one point it will be answered. You will get it what is told. And then you contemplate on the truth. Yes, this is what I've understood. And you relate to it. You sit in meditation, you become one with it. See a cave which has been in darkness maybe for 10,000 years. It is in darkness, okay? There you go and you light a lamp. That 1 second, that darkness of 10,000 years is gone. In the same way, our lives, which have been with ignorance, which is that darkness, maybe for crores and crores of lives, with this right understanding, it will just go away. And that is what we are looking over here. Now we come to the fourth point. Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Meaning, one needs to have a consistency on the path of Dharma prescribed in the Vedas. Now, let's not get boggled down by these loaded words of Dharma, Vedas and all that. Simple. Vedas means rule book. Dharma means instructions. That's all. Simple. What guidelines? Now you get a manual when you buy a washing machine or a iPhone or you buy a laptop, you buy a car, you get a manual, isn't it? What is told over there? These are the do's and these are the don'ts. As simple as that. The Vedas have prescribed us a method to follow. And now that we are at the end of the second chapter, the third chapter talks about there is a cosmic wheel in action, the Lord says. And that cosmic wheel will run into its best capability only if all the humans perform as told as per the scriptures. And if they don't, if it happens, then what are the merits? The merits we'll discuss in the third chapter, which is not far away for us. So here they say, you have to just follow that. And when you have the sattvic attitude, meaning as I told you, the right qualities in your life, that is compassion, love, care, concern, helping nature, kindness. When you have all this, then what is the problem? The dharma prescribed in the Vedas is just that. It's nothing else. So here, in the fourth one, they say, goodness is the path to godhood. So we have to build a decent amount of purity of mind. That is chitta shuddhi and single pointedness, which is chitta ekagrata. These are the two qualities which we need to have. I'll talk more about this tomorrow. Okay. And then, so now we have understood, like the first three qualities are very much there with us. The fourth one, we are midway. We'll understand this tomorrow. And I'm sure we all have this too in our lives. Then what are the other qualities? 5, 6, 7, 8. Ninth is of course the destination. So we are left with another 4. Let's understand it more in detail. And if we do not have, we will get it. And we will work for it. And that's where we are now. We are going to talk as to how to make it happen. That's our purpose. Okay. Come, let's meditate now. Now, I would like to give a bit of briefing for this Panchakosha Viveka, because I see we have many new friends who have joined of late. and we need to understand. Atma Anatma Viveka, which we spoke as one of the blessings, is where to know what is your true self and what is not your true self. Correct? So in Panchakosha Viveka, yesterday Mr. Shrikant, he asked the right relevant question, that how can you say that I as a limited, finite individual is that supreme? See, when you say I, we are so much tuned to the fact that this I means this limited personality or a finite personality as per your passport or your Aadhaar card. Yes, this is me. We are not talking I there means that supreme I, because you do not have any relevance over here. And how that I factor, that ego factor has come in, that will be now in detail explained in future. In the third chapter also it will be coming in. So I will explain more about it. So we are talking, think from the perspective of which is permanent, which is impermanent, the first aspect. Second aspect is, whatever you see from your eyes are objects to you. You don't need any great knowledge for this, a common understanding. Now you're seeing your cell phone, you're seeing your Bhagavad Gita book with you, you're seeing an AC in your house, you're seeing a tree outside, you're seeing a car outside. When you're seeing all this, they are objects to you, which means these objects are different to you. They are not you. The car which you see on the road is not you, isn't it? So in the same way, here we are trying to understand, are these, like we start with the body. Do you see the body? Yes. Is the body permanent? No. Does the body have its own source of energy? No. How can you make out? When there is, we know that when it is dead, it is dead. There is no energy of its own. Then another angle to understand it is, does it change? Yes, it changes. When I was a child and what I am now, you can't make out the difference. Several changes have undergone. So all these show that these are things which are impermanent compared to that pure consciousness, Satchidananda, which is something permanent. You got this point? So this is where we are coming from basically. We need to understand, we are comparing the permanent factor versus the impermanent factor, the changing factor versus the changeless factor. This is what. Another example. To you, your experience is on a daily basis, you have a dream. And then you have your waking world as well. Which do you consider more relevant and more important, or to be thought, to be dealt? Your waking world or your dream world? You say, of course, waking world. Why will I take the dream world so seriously and keep, if I had taken a loan of say ₹1,00,000 in my dream, I will not go in search of that creditor to give him back, or the other way also. So this is where, now what is that which is permanent in me and what is impermanent, what is changeless, what is changeable? On these lines, Atma Anatma they call. Atma is that which is permanent, changeless, timeless, infinite, and exactly the opposite are all the other qualities. Okay, with this we go ahead with our